Start. So, good evening, New Zealand, and good morning to anyone in the UK that's managing to hop onto this. My name's Charlotte Whittle. I'm an independent consultant with Arbonne at the level of Executive Regional Vice President, and newish consultants in the business. You will know that just means that I've promoted to the level where I've got my Mercedes, and I've also helped someone else do the same thing. So that's really exciting. I'm going to train tonight on a topic that, for me, I feel so strongly about. It's something that I believe took my business from being a district, almost an area, not quite able to break through and create the big business that I wanted, to being able to do that. I'm just going to mute people as they hop on. So to being able to kind of step over into that area of going region and then helping other people do the same thing. And for me, I believe that shift was when I chose to become aligned with my purpose in life, and I chose to shine authentically as myself within my Arbonne business. And I'm going to explain what all of that means and how you can do the same thing. But before we do that, let me tell you a little bit about me and about my background. As people are hopping on, can you mute yourselves? Just so we don't have background noise. Thank you. So a little bit about me. I was introduced to Arbonne just over 3 years ago now by my mum, who's an area manager, and her best friend, Executive Regional Vice President Joanne Geddes. And at that time, my life was crazy mental, absolutely crazy. My profession was as a child protection social worker. So I worked frontline child protection. We were the team that dealt with injuries. So as injuries were coming in, being rang in by the police, by school, things like that, we would go out, we would do assessments. We were the team that would go to court. We were the team that dealt with whether or not children would stay at home with their families or were removed. So it was high pressure, it was full on, and I absolutely loved it. It was all I'd ever done, and I loved working in that environment. I loved feeling as if I was making a difference. That, to me, was what lit me up inside. I loved helping people. And then I had my own children. And for any of you that have got your own children, what you'll realise is life doesn't just carry on as normal. I totally thought I would have these kids and I would just be able to go back to work and it would all be the same. This is not true. So I had Louis. He's going to be 6 on Friday. So I had Louis 6 years ago. At that point, I was working around 60 hours a week in my child protection job, being paid for 40 of them. And I was also finishing studying part-time. So in the evenings, I was at university. And when Louis came along, I did what I believe a lot of mums feel is the right thing to do. I got him to 6 months old, and then I put him into nursery or daycare or whatever you guys call it over there, put him into that, and I went back to work. And I was dropping him off at 6 o'clock in the morning in his pyjamas and just about making it back at 6 o'clock in the evening to pick him up again in his pyjamas. And after a few weeks of this, I started to think, this can't be the reason I've had a child. To pay somebody else to raise this child, it didn't make sense to me, but it was what everyone else was doing. So I was like, well, you know, my husband had his own business. At that point, it was very up and down. So we needed my consistent income from my social work job. So throw into that crazy mix, I then got pregnant with my daughter, Phoebe. And yay! But absolutely crazy. There is 16 months between my children. And when Phoebe came along, Bluey couldn't even walk. So it was absolutely mental. But we loved her so much. At 4 weeks old, however, Phoebe stopped breathing. She was blue lighted to our huge children's hospital where she was diagnosed with the rarest congenital heart defect that there is. She was on a ventilator. She couldn't breathe for herself. And we were told that without surgery, Phoebe wouldn't survive. So a surgeon was brought in and he operated on Phoebe. And thankfully, they were able to correct the defect in her heart. But what that then did was it it pushed on to a 12-month period of being in and out of hospital. Phoebe was fed with a feeding tube. We had a 16-month-old little boy. We had my husband's business, and we had the prospect of returning to my job, which, as I said, I was leaving my children at 6 o'clock in the morning and just about making it back at 6 o'clock in the evening. That didn't feel like it was something I could do with a child like Phoebe. So it was at that point that my mum and Joanne Geddes suggested I looked at Arbonne. And the first thing that I want you all to understand is this. My life was crazy at that point. I was on my knees, broken. But Joanne didn't make a decision for me. She didn't decide that I had too much on, so I wouldn't be able to do Arbonne, so she wasn't going to share it with me. She got out of the way. She let Arbonne be the message. And I am so grateful today that she did that, because 3 years on, my life is truly transformed. I retired from social work last year because my Arbonne income surpassed my social work income. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about why I chose to leave my job in place of just doing Arbonne. But that's now given me the ability to drop my children off at school every single day, to pick them up every single day. If Phoebe's sick, I'm at home with Phoebe. Nobody else looks after my children if they're unwell other than me, except from when I'm working my business. And I think that's crucial that people understand that, yes, if you've got children, you do this so you can be present in their life, but you never ever make them an excuse not to do the things that you need to do. Your children, if they're little, they're not going to remember the times that you've left them to go out and build your business. If your children are bigger, they're going to see that you're choosing to do the thing that's helping you guys as a family have this amazing life. So if there are consultants on the call that have got children, please know that your business will only ever be as big as your commitment to your business. So don't let the reason why you're doing it ever become your excuse not to get out there and do what you need to do. So I did that, and I've now created this amazing life that's just getting better and better. I believe that once you get to regional vice president level, you're just getting started. I truly believe that you kind of have scrabbled your way up to, now I kind of know-ish what I'm doing, and I can help other people do the same thing. I feel like you walk a bit taller. You've obviously got your Mercedes, so that's evidence that this works. And certainly out there in New Zealand, guys, we need to get those cars on the road. We need the evidence that this works. Ian Pritchard talks so much about when Caroline got her Mercedes, and they were still all at the point where they didn't really know whether or not one was actually going to come. Like, you need to get that car on the road out there so that it's the evidence. And then once that happens, it's easier for other people to follow. Someone's just got to take those first steps. So now you know a little bit about me. Oh, so Elaine Evans has just hopped on, and she is my promoted out regional vice president. She is absolutely incredible. And the reason she's a regional vice president is because she's on calls like this first thing in the morning. So what I wanted to talk to you all about today is shining your light. Choosing to show up in your Arbonne business as the absolute best possible version of you is what is going to take your business to the next level. I believe it's how Arbonne consultants stand out compared to every other network marketing company out there. If you look at our leaders within Arbonne, I believe that they shine all the time. They have integrity, and they're aligned with their true purpose and their mission. And that is what people want to join. Yes, we are skincare. Yes, we have the most amazing nutrition on the planet. Yes, we have makeup, but I don't believe that that is what people join. I believe people join an opportunity to help them live their biggest life possible. And the way we do that is to get on purpose. So let me just check my notes because I talk loads. I could be here for 3 hours. So there will be so many calls and trainings that you guys will hear on following the system. And the system is crucial. The system is absolutely key to this business. So just to recap that, we find people to talk to, we talk to the people we find, we share our business opportunity, we share our products, and then we follow up and get people started. That's the system. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things that we do over and over and over again within Arbonne. Now, I believe what you want to do is you want to wrap around that system, your core purpose and your core mission in life. If you can wrap that around that, and you can then follow that system in true alignment with you, that's when you're going to take your business to the next level. So what do I mean by that? I mean taking some time out of learning about RE9, learning about makeup. Take some time out of that to learn about you and get clear on what you want your message to the world to be. Now, this was all really alien to me. Yes, I was a social worker, but I spent my time thinking about other people, and I very rarely thought about, why am I even here? Why am I as a human being on this planet right now? And why is it that this vehicle called Arbonne has come into my life? And when I took some time to connect those things, it all started to make sense. So you want to definitely get on your reading list a book called The Success Principles by Jack Canfield. I'm sure Sarah Dunning will have spoken about it. That book has got a full section on defining your purpose. Defining your purpose on this planet. Now, for different people, that looks different. My brother lives in New Zealand. He's an Ironman. He's a triathlete, and he's absolutely healed his life through using exercise to show up as his best self. And so his passion and his mission is helping other people to be as healthy physically as they can so that they can be healthy mentally. And he sees that Arbonne is a vehicle to do that, because we are absolutely all about being healthy inside, then we're healthy outside, and we show up as our best selves. For me, my life purpose absolutely is around, hang on, because I've written it down because it can become huge. So my life purpose is absolutely around helping people to live their best lives possible, to show up in their lives as the best possible versions of themselves, whatever that may be. Now, remember, I was a social worker, so I was doing that then. I was helping people that were from really disadvantaged backgrounds to make the best of their life at that time. And that transferred into my Arbonne business. So I spend time getting to know my consultants, getting to know my clients, and seeing how I can serve them and help them to improve their lives and them to show up as the best possible versions of themselves every single day. And that fits so beautifully with Arbonne and the manifesto of Arbonne and what Arbonne's about, what we were founded for. Now, I think that if you can take some time out to just get really clear, and I don't just have one, I do have that one driving purpose, but that then links to other areas of my life. So health is really important to me. Connection's really important to me. The way that I spend time with my family is really important. So all of those things are then linked to my purpose, and I help other people to find clarity around how they want to show up and link that to all the aspects of their life that are important. If you take some time to do that, I truly believe that when you go out and you share what Arbonne is, you're not just following a rote script around this is how we present, this is what the products are. You're actually getting deeper, because people don't really care what you say, but they do care how you make them feel. So if you can connect your truth and yourself with Arbonne and what we've got, people are more likely, I believe, to connect with that and to want to spend more time with you. And that is one of the biggest tips ever that I can give you in Arbonne. You want to create relationships with people so that they feel they want to be around you. If you can do that, then you will build yourself an army of leaders that feel they can step into their truth and their light, and they will become independent. And you will also create people might quit on a business, right? People might quit a business if they feel like it's not going the way they want it to go. But people don't quit people. If you can create that connection so people understand your purpose, they're clear on their purpose, you've got that deep connection, then yes, it might take 4 years, 5 years, 6 years for them to come up to that level of national vice president, but they won't leave. And that's one of the biggest things that I've taken from my friendship with Sarah Dunning, from the things that Sarah Dunning has taught me. She's one of only 3, 5 wide. No, if she was 6 wide, she'd be one of only 3. She's about to be 6 wide, and she'll be one of only 3 6 wide executive national vice presidents. And there's a reason for that. And the reason is that she just has such a strong connection with her consultants. They know what she's about, and she knows what they're about. And that's that wrapping around the system of Arbonne. That's how you show up and you shine, when you can be so authentic in the way that you speak about this, and the way that you share this, and the way that you attract your tribe to you. So the next thing that I want you to do when you've got clear on your purpose, I really think it's valuable to take some time and think about the types of people you want to do business with. Because I think in the beginning, when we start our Arbonne business, we're just so excited about it. We just share it with everyone. I certainly did that. I sponsored about 12 consultants in a month. They've all quit, by the way. None of them are doing it. But one is. She's Emma McGoldrick is an executive district in my business, but the rest of them quit. So I went out there and shared Arbonne with everyone, and anyone that had a pulse, I was sponsoring them. And I'm sure we've all been there. But the thing is, they were never going to stay because they weren't my tribe. They weren't the people that I was going to do life with. And I truly believe that if you can take some time to think about the people you want in your life, what are they like? I want smart, savvy, confident, independent businessmen and women who are committed to creating huge lives for themselves, their families, and people they touch. That's an affirmation that I say every single day. I attract confident, smart, savvy, independent, committed, driven businessmen and women into my business who are committed to creating huge lives for themselves and people that they touch. So that's an affirmation that I say over and over and over again. And honestly, when I think it was Glenn Robb told me about affirmations, I was like, are you nuts? I am not walking around talking to myself about what I want to attract. But this stuff works, guys, and I'm not sure how it works. But I started doing that 2.5 years ago, and within 2 weeks, I met Elaine Evans, who I sponsored, who is now a regional vice president. She is independent, she is smart, she is savvy, she is confident, she is all the things on my list, and it gives me goosebumps. She is absolutely the type of person I wanted in my business, and just by getting clear on it, clear on my purpose, clear on who I was and how I wanted to show up, and clear on what I wanted to attract, it happened. So take some time to do that, because it will absolutely start to transform your business when you do. Now, those are the 2 things that I believe give you the edge. If you can do those 2 things, you're going to start to share Arbonne a little bit differently. You're going to shine a little bit more when you do that. And you guys over there in New Zealand just have this amazing opportunity to create this foundation of this is what Arbonne's about. This is not about people trying to fit a mold, because in the corporate world, in the employed world, that's what we do. We go into a system and we fit a mold and we be what other people want us to be. In Arbonne, you don't have to do that, nor does anyone else. If you choose to show up as the best version of you, whatever that may be, That's when you build a huge business. When you shine your light authentically, you will build an enormous business, I promise you. So when you're out there and you're meeting people, the thing that you need to do more than anything else is listen. Listen to whether or not they sound like somebody you would want to do life with. Is this the type of person that you want to spend time with? And ask questions. Get really curious, because people like people that are interested in them. I'm just talk about Sarah Dunning forever and ever and ever, but I watch her listen to people, and she's there. She is all there listening to what those people have to say. And when you do that, you open up then to attracting in those types of people that you want in your business. When you're sharing what Arbonne is, keep the message, but within doing that, be as authentic as you can be. If there are bits of the Arbonne message that don't quite resonate with you, so one of the things that I used to have a huge issue with, which is hilarious in network marketing to have had this issue, but I didn't like the thought of getting paid on other people's efforts. Right? Which is ridiculous. That's why we do network marketing. I was like, oh, I don't like that bit. Even when Ian shared it, I'd be like, oh, don't say that. But when I understood that that was something that was a block for me, I spent some time getting to understand what leverageable income was. I started to understand why leverageable income would be so powerful for people, why it would change people's lives, how it would help them to live their best life ever. I aligned it with my purpose. That bit that was niggly now is so aligned with my purpose. It's the thing I feel so passionate about. I feel more passionate about helping people understand leverageable residual income than anything else in this business, because that's the key to living an awesome life. But I had to take time to get right with that. For some people, you might feel like you've got a block around selling. Maybe you feel like you don't like being the salesperson. That is so easily overcome when you realize that we're not selling, we're serving. If you can find what someone's need is, and you can share with them these products and how they can truly transform their health, just use this stuff, guys. Use it every single day, and you will know that it transforms your health. I mean, look, there's not one person that uses Arbonne products that looks bad, right? We all look so good because this stuff is amazing. And then from a business point of view, again, you're serving. People are on their knees praying for something like this. I was that person. So you're serving. You're not imposing on someone. You're not doing something to them. You're doing something for them when you share this. So let me check the time, because as I said, I can talk forever and ever. I've got like 5 more minutes. So what I want to do now is just recap a little bit and just go over the things that I believe are going to help you shine your light. So get your purpose defined. Be really clear. Take some time to think about all of the things that you want to create in your life. How do you want to show up? And know that that is a work in progress. Know that you don't just decide that today and then all of a sudden you show up in that way. You get clear on your purpose, and then you take time every day to work on becoming your best self. Read, listen, grow. I journal every day, and that's not something that I used to do. I've only started doing this probably in the last 2 or 3 months. I just take time to write down every single day what my mission is, what my purpose is, and how that connects to the goals and the things I'm creating in my life. I just want to make sure that every day I come back to that alignment and that purpose, because life can get in the way a little bit sometimes, guys. People can say no to you, no to the products, have a reaction, whatever. But if I'm truly aligned with my purpose, that doesn't really matter, because Arbonne's not for everyone. That doesn't matter. I only want the people that it's for. I'm only out there searching for the people who are like me, who want to show up as their best selves. who want to use these products, who want to be amazing. So get your purpose defined. The next thing you need to do is link Arbonne to it. So go through that manifesto, read Eye on Arbonne's, look at people's stories, look at how people in Arbonne have created things that you want to create by using Arbonne as the vehicle. Christy Dryling is my absolute inspiration. I adore Christy Dryling. I stole a little bit from her. She says she wants people to say, I like myself best when I'm with you. That's what I want. If people leave me saying I like myself best when I'm with Charlotte, that's what I want. But not only that, I realized I wanted another level of that. I wanted a team where I said, I like myself best when I'm with you guys. And that's how I feel about my army and all the people we are calling into our business. I like myself best when I'm with them. I mean, I love my kids, I love my husband, but I truly believe I shine when I'm with the people in my business. And that's what you want. That's what you get to create. The next thing is get super clear on the type of business you want to build in Arbonne. I'm so different from Ian Pritchard. When I started Arbonne, I was totally trying to duplicate everything he did, the way that he did it. But I'm not Ian. I didn't come to the table as a successful property developer. I had no business knowledge at all. I had 2 children and a hugely messy, chaotic life. What I chose to do eventually was step into that, because that was my truth. The chaos, the mess. I don't have OCD. Like, sometimes if you saw what was on the other side of this screen, you'd be like, oh my God. But I don't need to be Ian. I need to be my best me. You don't need to be me. You don't need to be Ian. You don't need to be Sarah. You need to be the best you and think about what you want to create. Not just now. This is a 5, 10, 15-year game plan to have the most epic life with the best people. I cannot wait to sit on the beach in Maui with all of you guys. I cannot wait to sit on that sun lounger with our children playing and just have so much fun knowing that we do this for the rest of our lives. So get clear on what you want to create and then call in your tribe. Write down the type of people you want to attract. Who do you want in your business? What do they look like? What do they sound like? How do they show up? And just start saying it. Say it as an affirmation every single day. I attract confident, focused, committed, driven, independent men and women into my business every single day. Start saying it, because then they'll come. You've got to then listen though. You've got to listen, because they might not look the way you think they look. They might not show up when you think they're going to show up because you decided for this hour you're going to do Arbonne. Like, they might show up on a Sunday morning when you're dragging the kids around the supermarket, having just been to the gym or whatever. These people are going to show up once you start putting it out there. They're going to show up, and it's your job to listen and be open, and then choose to be brave and share the Arbonne message. Share it with confidence, share it with integrity, share it with alignment, and then leave it open. It doesn't matter if they say yes. It doesn't matter if they say no. Not everyone is going to dive straight into this, but leave them feeling good. Leave them walking away from Arbonne and from you going, I liked myself when I was with him. I liked myself when I was with her. I like the way this Arbonne thing makes me feel. I sponsored a consultant yesterday who I met 2 years ago. I met her 2 years ago. I shared Arbonne with her for 2 years. I kept in touch with her. I sent her Arbonne as presents on her birthday. I reached out and I just kept a relationship because I knew she was my tribe. I knew that I wanted to do life with her, and I'd listened to her, and I knew that one day she would realize Arbonne was a perfect fit for her. But it's about that longevity and building those relationships with people, and knowing that this is a commitment to constant evolving and constant changing and constant growing. And that for me is the best bit of Arbonne. Take away the money, take away the products, take away the trips. Oh, leave me my car. I really love my car. But take away all of that and just leave me with the ability to create a life on purpose in alignment that makes me dive out of bed every single morning feeling like I get to own my life. And I would never leave Arbonne. Never, ever, ever. Because in social work, I was told what I was worth. I was told my value by somebody else. It didn't matter how hard I tried or what I did, I would always be given my value by someone else. The gift you have with Arbonne is to let someone determine their own worth. That is the gift of Arbonne. We give people the opportunity to own their own life and determine their own worth. That is pretty much it for me, from me for today. But what I want to just let you all know is I'm actually flying out to New Zealand on the 15th of December. I'm going to be in Christchurch for a week. We're going to be in Auckland for a week. We're going to be in Queenstown for a week. And I'm hoping to touch base with Amy at some point within all of that. And hopefully maybe do a Discover Arbonne or something, whether we do it online or what we do. But we'll certainly figure something out. I'm so excited to come over and meet as many of you as possible. I feel so connected to New Zealand and what you guys are growing. And if you need anything, please don't hesitate. Just give me a shout. If you want help with defining your purpose or whatever, give me a shout. But just show up and shine every day, guys, because this is the best opportunity on the planet. Thank you all so much, and I will see you all very, very soon.